Welcome back to Lucy's Inspiring Stories, where we don't just have conversations, we create soul connections. Now,
Mm.
my guest today is someone many of you may know as a leader, a healer, and a force behind the scenes in one of the most expansive entrepreneurial networks in the world. Her name is Jennifer Farrar. And today, we're not just talking about Reiki or entrepreneurship or even healing. We're peeling back the layers to meet the woman behind the wisdom, the theater student turned international healer, the empath who learned to stand her ground, the entrepreneur who transformed her personal wounds into a pathway for others to rise. Jennifer has spent over 2 decades not only facilitating healing, but living it. And that kind of inner work deserves a deeper conversation. So, Jennifer, thank you for saying yes. And I know this is going to be something special. How are you?
I am really good. You made me sound awesome.
Well, you are awesome.
Thank you.
Just tell our people where, I live in, I'm an expat living in Mexico. Just tell our folks where you're coming in from.
I'm coming in from the middle of the country of the United States. I am living in Iowa City, Iowa.
Were you born there?
No, actually, we didn't move here until I was 7. I was actually born in Sacramento, California.
Oh, wow. I lived in the Bay
Yeah,
Area for 35 years. Woohoo.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to leave when I was in college, and I just went, no, I want to stay because it's such a beautiful state, and people here are so sweet and kind and nice, and it's a wonderful place to grow up in.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for that little, because we have a global audience here, and a lot of people don't even know where Iowa is. It's like smack in the middle of the country.
Exactly. Well, as I said before, you have the Pacific Ocean, you have the Atlantic Ocean, and we are like literally right in the middle along the Mississippi River.
Oh, right, the true heart of America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to what you do, because you've helped thousands clear their energy. It's all about energy. But
exactly.
I want to know, when your energy feels murky, what's the very first thing you do before you show up for anyone?
Well, oh gosh, I do a bunch of different things. A lot of what I do is, firstly, I ground myself. And if you want, I can take you through that exercise because it's really fast and simple. And when I feel murky, mostly I just feel tired. And it's hard for me to concentrate. And it's hard for me to focus on something. And a lot of times when I feel murky or I have a lot of energy attached to me, I'll feel sad, and I have no idea or no reason to be sad. And then I realize, oh, that's not mine. So I do an exercise from a modality called Full Court of Atonement, and that's all about clearing and blessing your name. And I can take you through that if you want to. So
that is so wonderful. Why don't we, if it doesn't take too long, why don't we do the grounding thing? I think that would be fun.
It takes seconds.
Okay.
So are you ready?
So yeah, absolutely.
So take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I just want you to center your energy in your heart. So bring all your energy there. Just focus in on your heart. And then send that energy down past your hips, your knees, your ankles, and out the bottoms of your feet. And sink into Mother Earth. Just go down, 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 down as far as you want to go. And then take another deep breath. And then bring Mother Earth's energy up. And as you bring it up, all of that stress, all of the strain of the day is going to just fall away, because Mother Earth is going to transform that into loving, grounded energy. And then bring all of that loving, grounded energy back up through the bottoms of your feet, your ankles, your knees, your heart, past your shoulders, and bring it up to the top of your head. And then expand that energy out around your body and back down to your feet. And take a good deep breath. and open your eyes.
Ooh, that does feel very grounding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that took less than a minute.
Well, and there's so much we can do to help ourselves. We just need to know we're just not knowledgeable enough. Yeah, I'm really very curious about you and your whole journey. If your younger self, let's say the girl in the costume department at the University of Iowa,
Yep.
could see you now, what would she be most surprised by? And what would she already understand perfectly?
Oh gosh, that's a very good question. What would I be surprised at? I think, well, I know my confidence. I am very confident in what I do and how I do it. And that really is born out of experience and a lot of study and a lot of my own inner work. When I was in college, well, high school, college, I felt like I was afraid of my shadow. I didn't really have any confidence in myself. I had other people tell me that I looked confident, but I was in theater. I could mask that very well.
Exactly.
I did learn some acting techniques, which have helped me in what I do now. But I was not confident, and I was scared a lot. I had a lot of fears and a lot of baggage. And so the other thing that would surprise me is that I don't have to live there, because I lived in that fear constantly. Fear of whatever. I was very afraid as a kid and as a young adult. And part of that is because I didn't know I was an empath. I didn't know I was picking up other people's emotions, so I thought they were all mine because I was feeling them. So that's the other. So 3 surprises. That was the other surprise, that I learned I was an empath and I was picking up all this other stuff and I didn't need to keep it.
How does one know that one's an empath? I mean, how did you become aware that you were an empath? First of all, for a lot of people, the word empath, they don't really know what it means. Perhaps we could start there.
And as with anything, it varies from person to person, and more and more children that are being born now, or actually in their teens, being born in their early teens, are more empaths. More and more are coming into this world because we need that. We need that emotional connection. We just don't know what that is. And someone else has to tell me. And actually, someone else did tell me. I was in a healing session. I was getting a healing session. I'm 61 now. This was in my 40s. So I was pretty old. Not pretty old. I was older. Because
we're never too old.
Right. Right. Well, one, I never thought I'd get to be this age. So I'm really grateful that I am. And so I was actually in a healing session, and once I got off the table, the woman goes to me. She just looks at me really intently, and I kind of was like a little weirded out. And she's like, "Do you realize you're an empath?"
Oh. And
I went, "What?
Did you know what that was?"
Well, I sort of knew what it was at that time, because it answered so many questions, because knowing that I was an empath, what that is you're experiencing energy very intently.
Okay.
And you're picking up other people's emotions. You're picking up other people's thoughts, good or bad. And once you realize you're an empath, that gives you I guess the word would be power, gives you the knowledge that half or 75 to 90% of what you're experiencing is not yours. And that gives you the aha of what to do with it then. So what I do, very, very important, because as I said earlier, I didn't know that sadness wasn't me.
Right. Because you've called your healing journey a response to your own pain. So, it'd be interesting to know what part of your story still brings tears when you speak it aloud. And,
Uh,
I'm sure that's become your superpower.
yeah, I've worked so much on it. I think I'm going to be very, very honest with you and very vulnerable. Is that okay?
Please do. It's up to you. Yes. I want you to feel safe here. You are safe.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And it's something that I did talk about. And some people go, well, you held on to that for so long. And I'm like, no, I did talk about it when this event happened. And it just became very difficult for other people to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly things like, oh, I have to go do the dishes when I talk about this event. Oh, I have to go get an oil change in my car. I heard all of that.
Yeah.
And so I don't even remember how old I was when this happened. I mean, it was in 2009. 2009, my mother was ill for many, many, many years. And even though I have at that time 6 siblings, one had already passed, the decision, and I'm the second youngest out of 8.
8, right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
family.
us. Big family, yeah. Well, it's funny. It's not unusual in my area.
It wasn't for my generation because I was one of 7. So,
yeah. And I had to make the decision to end my mother's life, to take her off life support. And even now, that kind of brings some energy up. But that wasn't even the hardest part. That wasn't where I'm going to become vulnerable. A year later, first of all, my mother was a hoarder.
Okay.
She filled her emotional wounds with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The more stuff she had around her, the more safe she felt from her upbringing. And I know a little bit of it from what she told me and what other family members have told me, and it wasn't good.
Well, it must have been during the Depression too, also, right?
Yeah, my mother was 73 when she passed away in 2009. So somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
This is where I asked my husband, what year was that? And how old was I with that? Because he remembers all that stuff. I don't.
Yeah.
And we've been together 29 years. So he knows all that stuff. A year later, I had been traveling back and forth for several years. Back and forth, meaning I live in Iowa City. My parents live right outside of the capital city of Des Moines, which is 2 hours away.
Okay.
So I would spend 3 days a week with my stepdad, because he was just, his wife of 45 years. I think they were together a total of 50 years, something like that, had just passed away, and he was just a basket case and couldn't take care of anything. So I spent three days in Ankeny, which is the town that he lives in, taking care of him and trying to clean out my mother's house. And then coming home and taking care of my dogs, taking care of my husband, made sure he had food for the days that I was gone because he worked full time. Mm-hmm. And so there was a lot of trauma, and in that I knew every rest stop along I-80,
right.
every gas station,
I took care of you.
Every good place to stop, what had the best food, what didn't. It's funny now. It wasn't then, but it's funny now. Yeah. And within a year, I found my stepdad in his bathroom, and he had died.
Oh.
And he had been dead for 8 days.
Oh my God.
Because I had taken a week and a half off. The only week and a half that I had taken off in 5 or 6 years. Because I was taking care of my mom, taking care of him. And also within that, I was taking care of my mother-in-law, who lived a half an hour away. because her husband had passed away. My father-in-law had passed away. So it was a lot.
It was too much.
I mean, I just kind of shut down because I had so much to take care of because they died without wills.
Oh my God.
So we went through probate and all of that, and still trying to clean out my mother's house. And within that time frame, my brother had a stroke. My younger brother had a stroke. So he had a special needs niece. I have a special needs niece, his daughter, who is just the light of my life. And if you look at my personal Facebook page, you'll see her all over it because she has access to it. So she thinks she's like the knees bees posting her stuff on my page.
That's so funny.
So she's just wonderful. So there was so much going on. And I didn't mean to gloss over my stepdad, because to this day, I will have flashbacks of that moment.
When you saw him.
When I saw him. Yeah. And I've done a lot of work, inner work. So it's not as intense anymore. Like, it doesn't prevent me from sleeping anymore. I can take a deep breath and let it go.
You have the tools now. Yeah.
I have the tools now. Yeah. I mean, for a long time though, after that, no sleep because post-traumatic stress. Yeah. Not actually, I wish I was the kind of person who, if I went through post-traumatic stress, I some people don't eat. I was the opposite. And anything I could get my hands on. That's how I was at that time, filling that wound with food. Didn't matter what it was, I was eating it.
Yeah. Yeah, people do that.
Not so much.
But you work in frequencies. A lot of people don't understand that. And in chakras, a lot of people don't understand that. In energy fields, a lot of people don't understand that it's all energy. This is all energy.
It really is.
And most people can't see those things. But when you walk into a room, there are signs that tell you that, things are not aligned. I mean, I have felt it. I don't know that everybody feels it. What do you do about that?
Well, people really do notice it. Like, I don't see the energy. Some people do. Some people see colors and things like that, but I don't see any of that. For me, because I'm an empath, that's my psychic sense. That's the strongest. And part of that is realizing that none of this, whatever this is, like if you walk into a room with someone who just argued, you're going to feel it. You're going to sense it or know something is wrong.
Yeah.
Or something is off, because all of a sudden you're getting angry for no reason. And so
about that.
Well, yeah.
Because you take it on. Yeah, you take it on.
Yeah, because you're feeling it, so you think it's you. And what I realized is you have to have the realization, the aha, that it's not you. So what am I going to do with it? Do I want to continue feeling this? And these are the questions I ask myself. Do I want to feel this? First of all, I ask myself, is this mine?
Right.
And you're going to get an answer one way or another. Sometimes it's an absolute, I'm hearing in my head or I'm feeling in my body, no, it's not. I'm like, okay, then what are you going to do with it? Do you want to hold on to it? Is this the right time to let it go? What are you going to do? And would you like to know what I do?
Yeah.
You're like, of course.
Absolutely.
Well, one technique, this is from Access Consciousness, which is another energy modality.
Yeah.
And you can look it up. It's a phenomenal modality. And that actually helped me through a lot of the stuff with my stepdad and my mom and my mother-in-law. I asked myself, is this mine? Do I need to do anything with it? What do I need to do? And more often than not, the answer is no. So I say return it to sender.
Oh,
But I add a
I like
caveat, return it to sender with love and consciousness attached.
ooh, that's really nice.
Because you don't want to send back icky energy.
No.
You're sending back the energy that's transformed. It's coming off of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're giving back love.
That's
And that
wonderful.
will that will transform a room. Just that simple exercise.
Right. I could do
Return it
that
to
too.
sender. What? I'm sorry, what?
I said I could do that. That's
Yeah.
an easy thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can
First of all, ask if it's really me,
right.
and usually it has nothing to do with you. It's somebody
Exactly.
else. And then return to sender with love and appreciation,
Consciousness
or
attached.
love and gratitude and
Love
whatever
and consciousness. Yeah. Yeah,
consciousness.
because you're giving back an awareness to
Right.
the person who created the energy.
Mhm.
And you never know. They may not even know why they're angry or they're mad or they're sad or they're depressed. It may
Right.
be they're picking up other people's energy.
Wow.
So you're lightening the load for everybody. And it's not necessarily a one and done, meaning you might need to say it a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say it in your head. You don't need to say it out loud. I find it's more powerful out loud, but you're not always in a place where
But you can say that, right?
you can say that. You can say that, and people are like,
What?
"What? Yeah,
Who are you
this lady's
talking
talking."
to?
Yeah, yeah, this lady's talking to herself. Who's she talking to? No, no, no,
Right.
no, no. Just love. Return it to sender with love and consciousness attached. And sometimes when I will do just like a dry brush with my hands. I just say a short prayer and ask God, creator, whoever your source is, to just let it go.
Mm.
So you'll just see me if I'm in the same room with you, you'll just see me do this.
Mm.
And sometimes if I'm in a crowded with a group of people, it'll be like I'm just adjusting my hair and just
But you're
flicking
brushing
off.
it away.
Yeah, yeah. And it's amazing. And you can, if you're sitting, you can go all the way down as far as your knees. Yeah.
Wow.
Especially around your solar plexus area. You can't see that, but around your solar plexus area, because that's where energy congregates, is this
Right.
area right here. Yeah. Or I'll wash my hands in cold water, soapy water. That's one of the best. After every session I wash my hands in cold soapy
Why
water.
cold water?
Because my hands heat up.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Because the energy gets very intense. And it's not just Reiki energy, it's source energy. And because I've been a Reiki person since 1997. So
Mhm.
yeah, my hands will be very hot and it gets uncomfortable.
Okay.
So the cold water helps dissipate that energy.
It's so
If
interesting.
warm water works best for you, then do that.
Wow, that is so cool. Let's talk about money, because money is energy.
Yeah.
So, how about 3 words or beliefs maybe that kind of energetically repel it, or maybe 3 that kind of magnetize it? Because
The repellent, this is what I tell my students,
Mhm.
is that money, abundance is all really about worthiness
Hmm.
and deservedness, not about money. Yes, and I have thousands of negative beliefs about money and positive beliefs about money that I can help people switch their thought process. But really, it's about, what do I deserve?
Right.
Am
But
I
then
worthy of it?
but we're all worthy of money. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
but you'd be surprised at how many people don't believe that.
don't believe that, right?
I mean,
It's the belief, yeah.
it is a belief. It really is. It really is a belief. And that belief carries an energy behind it.
Right.
Because when I'm working with a client and I ask, are you worthy of money? you know they don't believe it when tears start.
Well,
Are you worthy of success? You know. And I'm going to give you an example of that if I can.
mm-hmm.
I have a client who, she's older, about a little older than me. And she wanted to start her business. And her business was helping other women of our age find love and kindness and companionship. And she just kept saying, Jen, I just can't raise my hand. And I just want to raise my hand. I want to shout out to the world, shout out to these women that they can find love at our age. And I want to talk about it. And I want to do speeches, and I want to speak on stages. And I was like, do you believe you can have that? Do you believe you can do that? And it was no. And we traced that belief back to when she was 5 or 6 years old. And a teacher asked a question, and she raised her hand, and the teacher made fun of her.
Oh.
Which I know, because when I was in 2nd grade, I was tortured by my teacher.
My God.
And so that got buried and developed into, I'm not worthy of it.
Well.
And once that was gone, all sorts of cool things happened.
It's so interesting when you say that she remembered when she was in 3rd grade, and you then say, I remember when I was in 2nd grade. What about those who can't remember back then? Are they hiding something? Are they traumatized?
All of it. I mean, it took me a long time, and actually in discussions with my sister, who's a year and 3 months older than me, kind of teasing out our childhood, because I didn't remember a lot of it. Not that I had a bad childhood. I mean, yeah, stuff happened, but I didn't really honestly have a bad childhood. We didn't have any resources. We were dirt poor.
Mm-hmm.
But technically, I didn't have a bad childhood, except for a few things that happened.
Right.
But I didn't remember any of that.
Yeah. It's interesting because I have a sister who remembers everything.
Yeah.
And I
you're going, I don't remember anything.
I don't remember. And you know, I mean, I grew up, they go, oh, Lucy, she can never remember anything. I mean, you know, Lucy doesn't remember. It was my middle name.
And it's interesting that became your reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And part of that not remembering is I didn't know I was an empath, and I didn't know, I was young. My older siblings were starting to go through puberty. So there was a lot of energy floating around in my house. And when you have 6 older siblings, yeah, there was a lot of energy going on in my house that to me was chaos. And having that many kids, there's going to be chaos.
Right.
But I internalized that as pain, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual pain. So if you're in that pain, everything else shuts off. So I had to talk with my other older siblings. And now I remember, I would focus on the bad things that happened. And now I remember we had some fun. We were our own little.
Yeah, big families are like that. Big families are like that. We didn't need the neighbors. Actually, the neighbors were just extras coming into our house. I mean, there was enough of us to have a good time. Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember, actually, we had a hill going to our backyard, and when it snowed, we just sled down our hill.
That was fun.
Into the backyard, and then come back up and sled down. So those were fun times. And at one point in time in our itty bitty town that I lived in, we lived on a gravel road, and we would go ice skating. The road would freeze.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking, there was only 1,000 people in my town.
Yeah.
So we weren't really worried about traffic. And yeah, we would ice skate on our road.
Absolutely. Yeah. I lived in a small village also when I grew up. So it was really important because my parents wanted a family, and the doctor said, look, if you're going to have a family, get out of the city and go to the country. And that's what they did, you know?
Yeah. And I think, I wasn't told why we moved to Iowa. I think my stepdad got a job in Iowa. Well, we moved to his hometown. And I do remember my mom just saying that they wanted to get out of California. They wanted to get away from whatever was going on in Sacramento where we lived, and they wanted fresh air.
Interesting.
Fresh air.
Because when you live in San Francisco, you think Sacramento is fresh air.
Right. And then you realize, oh, there's a lot of pollen. There's a lot of corn, because most towns in Iowa are smack dab or surrounded by cornfields or bean fields. So,
and of course, Sacramento is agriculture, and so when the spraying started, the air was no longer.
Exactly. And one of my older sisters had severe asthma, so I'm sure that was a factor. That then they spray here in Iowa too. So, but at least we have fresh air. Right. We don't have smog here, so we don't have that kind of pollution here.
That's really good.
Really nice.
So that's what makes that part of America so nice, I suppose. Also, it's genuine, but it's also a cleaner place than most, which is really wonderful.
Yeah,
lots of room to play, lots of room, small entrepreneurial businesses, and so it's like
Well, if you think about it, a farmer is an entrepreneur.
They definitely are.
Yeah, they're very hardworking. I worked on a farm when I was in high school over the summers. It's a lot of work.
It is
not something I would want to do on a regular basis, but it was fun when I was in high school.
Wow. I want to ask, you were once kicked out of a place.
Yeah.
That didn't feel right to your spirit. Mm-hmm. How did that moment free kind of your nervous system, if you will? And what would you say to someone who's still staying in the wrong space out of fear?
Well, and I had 2 instances where that happened. Not that I was kicked out of the other place, but when I was a manager at a major retailer, and I had stayed in that job 5 years, probably longer than I should have, not because of my fear, but because of my mother's fear. So that was way before she was gone. And it was the feeling when I left was very similar to when I got kicked out. Of the healing center that I had helped create. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't freeing right away, because the process of healing took a while. It took me about 3 months, because we were just opening back up after the pandemic. So and it took me about 3 months. I kind of went down into a really bad space, because I knew it wasn't my fault, even though I knew it wasn't my fault. Mm-hmm. I contributed to the situation, because it takes 2 to tango.
Right.
It took me about 3 months before I was even ready to tackle the healing. The feelings that I felt, kind of the emotional journey, there was a lot of anger. That was the initial, because I poured my heart and soul into this place. I gave up time with my husband.
Wow.
And knowing that I had spent a lot of time away from him, because of taking care of family members. And so I was angry about that, and
Right.
I was resentful. And I was resentful that, I had made a promise to this person, the owner, and that person wasn't allowing me to fulfill my promise. I think that was one of the big things for me, because when I make a promise, I'm going to keep it, dang it.
Right.
I'm going to do everything I can to keep it. And anger, resentment, I was so hurt.
Yeah.
So hurt and drained, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually drained. I mean, I just sit on my couch for hours, and I'm not. Yeah. And I'm
know
really
I've
not
been there, but it took me longer. It took me 6 months.
Oh, I'm not saying I didn't. I like 3 months later, I was like happy go lucky and I'm working again. No. And this is what I tell my clients and my students, is that this is a journey, and and it's not something like 1 or 2 sessions are going to fix.
Mm-mm.
And I expect you to do your work outside of our sessions. But yeah, it's actually still ongoing, because the people who worked for me have found out information that I didn't know. So sometimes it's the information about the situations are dribbling back into my reality, and it's getting easier years later. Now this is 3 years later to go, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't need to know.
Right.
That's their stuff, not mine. But it took me a while to get there.
It's liberating, though. It's liberating once you get there. I remember.
It is very liberating. It's very freeing when you get to that place of neutrality, and you get to that place of, it's not that I don't care. It's just that, oh, okay, that happened to me, or that happened.
And when you look back, you can connect the dots. You can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yeah. and
you understand why it happened. Yeah. It's
like
unbelievable. Yeah. It's amazing.
Well, and hopefully you learn from it, so you can recognize when that's happening again. That would be my takeaway, is that was my prayer, is that I learned, what did I learn from that? Because there were lots of positives and lots of negative lessons that I learned on both sides of that coin. Right. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't need to re-experience that. I don't need to experience that again.
And we all go through that, and you have to go through it, and it's just part of life. It's part of the journey. It's,
yeah. And that's what I tell people. It's like, it's life, because I was this is many, 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 many years ago. Well, when I was going through all of that stuff with my parents, I was in a sweat lodge. And I was doing the, oh, woe is me. Why is this happening to me? I'm a good person. Why is all this stuff happening? And the answer to that prayer was, the why doesn't matter.
There you go.
The why does not matter. It's what is your agency?
Right.
What are you doing about it? What are you taking away from it? How do you make yourself better? Right. And that to me was one of the biggest ahas of my life. What's your
becoming? It's part of your becoming. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Well, yeah.
We're not in control either. That's the other thing.
No. And, I don't know if you've ever heard of Ho'oponopono.
Yes.
It's a Hawaiian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I practiced it with Tony Robbins. Yeah.
Yes.
Events.
And Dick Vitale. Yeah. And the whole premise behind Ho'oponopono is you're 100% responsible for whatever's in your life. You're not at fault. But since it happened to you, it's in your life. And I finally got that in that sweat lodge.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. I don't have to be in the everything's bad is
For
happening to
me.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor pitiful me. Yeah. And it changed my attitude about everything that I had to accomplish with my parents' estates and their taxes and the house and all of that stuff. And I was like, and it fortified me because I knew the why didn't matter, why it was happening didn't matter. It mattered that it was happening.
Right.
And it mattered what I was doing with it.
Right. Yeah, we're a culture of progress. I love that. We're just a culture of progress, and I always loved hearing that because there is no perfection. We're just progressing all the time,
Oh, can I use that?
or not,
Yeah. Yeah. Or not. Yeah. Well, a choice you're choosing. It's what are you choosing?
Right.
I'm going to use that. Do you mind if I take that? We're a culture of progress.
Right.
I like that.
You founded quantum conscious healing frequency. If your frequency, a lot of people don't understand that, and sometimes I have a hard time with the frequency. I know that I always want to be at a higher frequency because lower frequencies don't get you what you want, and I have tools that get me there. If your frequency had a sound, a color, a shape, what would that be?
Color, I would say either purple or blue.
Look, you're wearing purple. Yeah.
Yes, I am. It's my favorite color, by the way. Purple or blue? Sound? Gosh, that's a good question. My first thought was a baby's laugh.
Okay, there you go.
That's the best sound in the world.
It is
a baby's laugh. What was the other one?
The shape.
Oh, circle. There's not a beginning or an end. It keeps on going.
Has that changed over the years, or is that a constant, or what?
Well, I would say yes, it changed over the years. As my awareness, as my training grew.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had enough training when I was younger to know that we are all connected. We are all one. We are all connected in some way, shape, or form. Energetically, we are all connected. But I didn't understand that until I was older.
Right. Yeah. It takes a while to understand that.
Yeah, it really does, because it's like, how can I be connected to you, Lucy? I mean,
you're in a different place where, we live in boxes.
We're in a different country.
We've walked different lives. We live in a different house. We live in a different car. We live in, we're all in boxes.
Right. How can we be connected?
Exactly.
Well, we are.
Yeah.
We are.
Because
and I think the children, and I think the children coming in now have a better understanding of that than we did. And I think people like you and I and other people like us, we were the way showers. We showed them the way, did our work, our inner work to raise that vibration, that frequency, so that they could come in and do what they're going to do, whatever that is. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, because when I think back to what I would call the frequency of my parents,
right,
it was low.
Yeah,
it was low. Yeah. I mean, I never understood it, but now that I understand it, or understand it more, and look back, I'm going, oh, okay. But boy, and now I understand why I wanted to leave.
Yeah, it didn't feel good.
It didn't feel good.
Abraham Hicks. Yeah. One of the things that I loved about Abraham Hicks, she said, or they said, your emotions, your frequency is guided by your emotion. Your emotions are called the emotional guidance system.
Okay.
So if you feel good, if you're happy, if you're content, compassion, gratitude, those are all your emotional guidance system is telling you that your vibration is high.
Wow.
If you feel sad or bad or angry, anger is one of the worst emotions, low frequency wise.
Right.
Then your frequency is low. And when I first started out, gosh, way back in the early 90s, I don't know what happened, because this really started me on my journey. I don't know what happened, but I woke up one day and I just felt a pull in my solar plexus, and I heard the words, "You have to raise your vibration."
Wow.
The internet didn't exist back then. I didn't know what the heck that meant.
Who's talking? Who's talking to me?
Exactly. I'm like, raise my vibration. What the heck does that mean? Well, I have since found out that I had to raise my frequency in order to start learning some of the things that I needed to learn to put me on the path to becoming the healer I am today.
Wow. In your experience, I want to ask you, in your experience, what's the most dangerous myth people believe about healing? And what's the the quiet truth about what they're not ready to hear or something?
Couple of things. One, that I'm a witch, and I'm not. And two, it's not Christian. Not Christian. And I'm like, I don't get that. I've never gotten that, never understood that, because literally everything I've learned, everything I do was because I needed it first. It was always an answer to a prayer. Sometimes, the prayer when you're a little kid, you're on your knees. Now I lay me down to sleep.
Right.
Sometimes I'd be on my knees by my bed. God, I need help. Wow. I don't want to feel this way. And someone would show up. And can I give you an example of that?
I'd love to.
I mean, this is how this works.
Yeah.
I literally was depressed. I had left my retail job. I had got a job that paid me a lot more, but it was even worse. And I got fired from that. And so I was just depressed. I didn't know what I was going to do. We needed the money. And I'm like, it was a prayer. How do I get out of this funk I was in? And literally there was a knock on my door, my front door. And it was a FedEx guy. And he like, can you sign? I'm like, what? It was just a box. This is how long ago this was, because it was a VCR tape from a friend of mine. And all it said was, watch this. I think you need it.
Oh, wow.
I hadn't talked to my friend we lived in two different cities. I hadn't talked to her about how I was depressed. She didn't know.
Yeah.
And I popped the tape into my VCR, and it was all about learning EFT, emotional freedom technique, which is a method to help you through your stuff, your negative beliefs, your negative emotions. And I was like, wow. That's how that works. My personal opinion, God was working through her.
Right. I do believe that. Yeah. I mean,
because how would she have known?
Ask and you shall receive, and you did.
And continuously asking, because EFT got me to another spot. And then I learned emotion code right after that. That got me to another one that really helped me through. I learned that during all of this stuff with my parents' deaths. And that got me to another thing, to everything that I'm doing now.
Right. Well,
just by asking, I need help.
Right.
And I didn't know it all when all of that was going on, that I would be a healer. That was that was one of the reasons why I needed to raise my vibration.
Yeah.
If not the reason.
I think one of the hardest things when we pray is that, I mean, I do believe if, ask and you shall receive. I do believe that happens, but very often we don't believe it because we want the answer immediately, and it comes in so many different ways. And for you, it came in this VCR. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's you when you're manifesting, and I didn't know I was manifesting that. Your job is to say the prayer. Your job is to put the energy out there. It's God's job. It's the universe's job or source's job to bring it to you.
Right.
And many people, and even me, still get up in that, well, how's that going to come? It's supposed to come like this. This is what I thought it would look like, but all that mental stuff. Yeah. When is my windfall coming? Exactly. And now it's getting easier for me to let the how and the when go.
Yeah, I love Tony Robbins when he says, "Let go of the how tyranny, the tyranny of the how."
Oh, that's good
that.
too.
Don't you like that? Yeah.
Yeah, because that will stop a manifestation in its tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there. And I think now that I heard what you said, it came to me. I'm like, oh, I didn't really care about the how. I didn't know anything more. I just knew that I needed help.
Right.
That's all I knew.
Well, that's all you need.
Showed up.
Yeah, exactly. If this were your last interview, what's one truth that you would want to leave imprinted on everyone's soul? Something that's more than strategy, more than, maybe success, or more than anything else. What?
Well, you don't have to live in your misery.
Okay.
Life does get better. And what you're going through is only temporary. And you can move through it faster if you do your inner work, whoever you do your inner work with. Whether that be someone like me or a traditional therapist. You can move through that. You don't have to live there. And it can be just like a blip in your life. Instead of, like, as my mom says, it doesn't have to be a mountain. It can just be a molehill. She was a very wise woman.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't realize it at the time, but looking back, you go, "Oh wow!" Because my mother said some wise things, and at the time, I just like, "Oh, I don't even want to hear that." But boy, was she right!
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
Mom, you don't know anything. Yes, she does. Yeah.
Oh
and she's going, "Just you wait, young woman. Just you wait."
Oh my God. You've shown us that, success isn't just about scale or systems. It's really about the soul, this deep self-trust, So I just want to say to those listening, over here to my left, to your right, are CTA buttons, call to action buttons. Now, most people watch this interview in the replay. I just want to let you know that those buttons are live in the replay. So if you want to connect with Jen, do go to the middle button. It says Let's Connect. It will bring you to her LinkedIn. And if you want to visit her website, then it's the CTA button, the call to action button below where it says visit my website. So folks, explore Jennifer's offerings here, because if there's one thing this conversation makes clear, it's this: healing really isn't just for the few. It's really your birthright. And it begins the moment you believe you're worth it. I think,
Oh, we're all worth it. We are all worthy and deserving.
So thank you, Jennifer, for being a lighthouse for us. Really, you're not just healing lives, but you're expanding what's possible for all of us. So thank you.
Thank you. And you know what's interesting about what you said, to me anyway, is that my mom loved lighthouses. We had lighthouses all over our house.
Ah, well, it's
It's
no wonder.
interesting you chose that word.
It's no, I got shivers now. Oh God, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. So I want to thank you again for for being here, for letting us, spend this time with you. And I certainly want to thank my audience, and remember to tune in next week for another wonderful, inspiring story. Bye for now.
Thank you.